Hi everyone, welcome back to Life on the Range, and today's video is going to be a topic that is going to explain how I'm really doing, how Kevin and I are doing since the passing of our baby boy. I like being in here. This room it does make me smile. This room makes me very sad, and I've definitely been very angry in this room. So it's about 95% finished. For anybody who is joining me in this video for the first time, I was 8 months pregnant when my baby passed away. So Mother's Day was last Sunday, and it was not a good day. What I did though definitely helped. I decided to host Mother's Day, and it was my first time hosting for our family at all, but with the pandemic and everything, a lot of my family hasn't seen my new home, and so I thought it would be a really cool way for all of us to get together, as well as everyone to see the home and just enjoy themselves. My plan was to keep busy. I did not want to sit in my grief. I really wanted to do something nice for everyone, all the moms in our family. So like both my sisters-in-laws, and then my mother and my mother-in-law, and all the kids and everyone came over, and it was I wanted to make sure it was a really good day for them. So again, I made dinner for everyone. I bought all the mothers gifts, and I just wanted it to be really nice. I personally felt nothing. I was very numb that day, and that was actually really helpful because I was not emotional at all. I got emotional one time because I bought a t-shirt that said Mama on it, and I have a matching onesie that I got for Levi that says home is where Mama is, and it's from this company called 10th and Pine, and they have like organic, really cute baby clothes, and I just remember thinking like a lot of these pieces I wanted Levi to wear. And I actually have a bear that was gifted to Kevin and I that is supposed to just help comfort us, and so I actually dressed the bear on Mother's Day in the onesie, and then I put on the t-shirt, but I got like mad at the shirt. Like because I don't feel like a mother, so I actually took it off, and I didn't want anyone looking at me. I didn't want anyone like giving me any sort of attention on Mother's Day of any sorts. So I took it off and I wore something else. But I would honestly say Kevin and I have not been doing well, like at all. I made that video kind of prematurely the other video that just said, you know, life after loss. And I just couldn't, like, I wasn't being fake or anything, but I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know how to really explain what we've been going through. It's been terrible. We've been miserable. We've been very depressed. It's been very difficult to be at work. It's difficult to be around people, especially because a lot of people, I guess, in my situation around me, no one has experienced a loss of a baby. And so people say they're sorry, and that's kind of really it. I have, and I am very fortunate, I do have an immense amount of resources and a ton of people. Oh, my legs are going numb. A ton of people that have been extremely supportive. But I think when you're grieving a loss, regardless, you still just feel so empty, and you just feel so lost. So it's been terrible. I'm very depressed, and I'm really sad, and I'm on a bunch of medication. I'm now experiencing high blood pressure, and it's just so difficult having to pretend. It's exhausting going to work. I work part-time now, and I haven't been able to go a full week without having to leave early. I just feel like my body, is failing me. I feel like my body failed me when my baby died. I feel like my body failed me afterwards, because here I am producing breast milk. You know, my breasts are engorged of milk, and it was so frustrating because I'm like, why are you producing milk when you couldn't even keep your baby alive? Like, you know, I just wish, like, if your body is going to, you know, try to, I was contracting a lot the day that I found out he passed away. I was contracting all day long, and I knew in my heart that that was weird. You know, of course, when you get closer to term and in your third trimester, they say you're going to have contractions. They should be short. They should only last this long. They should only feel like this, you know, Braxton Hicks. And that day, I was having contractions all day long. I mean, nonstop. And come to find out, it was just simply my body knew that he was not alive. So it was essentially trying to get rid of him, you know, extract, whatever word you want to use. And so I'm just thinking, okay, so if my stupid body knows that, then why are you producing breast milk to further destroy everything, you know, and remind me every single day that I have these engorged breasts with no baby. It's just all so annoying. Everything's annoying. Everything's stupid. It's like I feel like I'm constantly getting punched in the face because all these people are pregnant. My neighbor is pregnant, and all these people I followed on YouTube happened to get pregnant shortly after I got pregnant. And it was these girls that I watch all the time, different YouTubers, Carly Bible, Sarah Schultz, Kara and James, Carrie, I know I'm pronouncing her name wrong, beautiful, all of them. And they were all a little, you know, I was further along than all of these girls, and it was so comforting to watch their video. And then also Sarah Balin, she had just had her baby, and when I actually discovered her channel, she was like 1 month postpartum or something like that. So I just had like all these girls that I followed and found comfort, and was excited that I was having like our COVID babies, as we call them. And all of them have had their baby. I think Miss Schultz, her channel, I don't know why I called her Miss Schultz. She's still pregnant, but she's about to give birth. And I don't wish bad on them. I don't wish bad on anyone. I don't wish bad on any mother who has just recently had her child. But I'm just like, how come all of these girls had their babies and mine died? And then to have people say, like in the hospital, oh, he was perfect, and, you know, we got tests done, and oh, there was nothing wrong, he was perfect. You know, he did have abnormalities, having a 2-vessel cord instead of 3, and so that's why I ultimately was going to be induced at 30 weeks, or 38 weeks, excuse me, and I was going to a specialist every week because, you know, they're just making sure he is developing properly, and, you know, just making sure that he was going to be okay. And 2 weeks before he passed away, he had doubled in size, and the doctor was like, well, if he, at this rate, like, we can have you go full term, and he can come when he's ready, and you know, like, we don't have to worry about him. And I will say the entire time I was pregnant, or I should say about around 12 weeks, I did not think my baby was gonna be okay. I don't know, like, hindsight, looking back, like, I didn't know what that meant for me. Like, you know, me being a first-time mom, and then me being in a being pregnant during a pandemic, and then me not having, like, not being happy with my prenatal care, with my, at the time, health insurance. Like, you know, I just felt like, oh, you know, this is all so surreal and new. You're pregnant, like, you just got married, you just bought your first home, and now you're pregnant. There's a lot of news going on, a lot of changes. Like, it's just like that first time jitters. Like, you know, the first time mom where you're like super, like, just worried about everything, hyper vigilant, you know, all that good stuff. But, like, as time went on and I got further along in my pregnancy, I just never felt good. I never felt right. It was like I could not enjoy being pregnant. I honestly felt like I was like super negative and just like worried and frustrated and just like bothered. And the last appointment I had before he passed away, it was on a Monday, and I went in. I was actually going to my OB that day, and so I went to my OB on Mondays, and then I went to my parentologist on Thursdays, the specialist, to do ultrasounds. I got ultrasounds every week. And then every other week they would measure him to, see where his growth is. And so I went to my OB that Monday, and we were doing an NST. And so NST meaning non-stress tests. And he wasn't moving that much. And the weekend prior, he had a decrease in fetal movement. He just barely moved that weekend, and was not like him, because he moved all the time, and especially after we would eat, he would move so much. Like, he was so happy to be eating, and then he was such a good baby. Like, once I was done eating and I was about to sleep, like, he would go to sleep. Like, he never woke me up or kicked me or did anything crazy in the night. He was just always super active in the daytime, and then really active when he would eat, and then it was like he would go to sleep after he ate. Like, he was such a good baby. But anyways, he didn't move that much the weekend prior, and so Monday came around where I would go to the OB, and he didn't move that much on the stress test, so they just went ahead and did an ultrasound at the doctor's office. And so, she got the lube on and looked at him, and immediately, once they put the ultrasound on, you hear the heartbeat. So his heart was beating normally, like 150 BPM. And he was just quiet. He was just laying there, and so she tried to push on my belly to move him, just to get him to move, and he would kind of nudge like he was sleeping. And so she was like, "Oh, he's just asleep." And so she was like, "He looks good. His heartbeat, his heart sounds really good." And so she said, obviously this appointment is to check him, but while he's in this position, might as well get some good photos. So she took a bunch of photos of him, and she would nudge him so she could check his heart, his brain, his kidneys. She just did a full head to toe on him, and she was like, "He sounds and looks really good. He's just quiet." And she was like, and sometimes as babies get bigger, in your third trimester, there's obviously not as much room in your belly. So, they don't move as much sometimes, or their movements change. And I just remember laying there and looking at him, and it was like this relief when she said, "Oh, he's fine," his heart sounds really good. It was like that relief, but it was followed up with just sadness, because I knew something was wrong with my baby. I didn't know what it was. It obviously wasn't displaying on the ultrasound, but in my heart, I remember, I'm like, my baby's not okay, and I don't know what it is. And like, I worked that day, it was a Monday, so once I left, I had to go back to work, and I remember getting in my car and just crying because I just felt like something was wrong, but I just did not know what it was. And I went to work and whatever, and then I think he passed like Tuesday night through Wednesday morning, somewhere in there. I think he passed Tuesday night, just what I feel. And then Wednesday night was when again, like he wasn't, I was contracting all day, but I didn't actually feel him moving. And so I did my normal shift at work. I went home and I actually called my mom to come over because I just kept having these contractions, and they weren't like, I'm sure, excruciating like it would be if I was actually going in labor, but they were uncomfortable and they just kept coming. And so she came to sit with me. I called the doctor, the nurse line, and you know, she was just telling me what to look out for and to do my fetal movement counts. And I remember I had spaghetti that night, and I'm like, okay, this is carbs, this is something heavy, like he will definitely move after eating spaghetti and drinking water. And he never moved. I laid on my side and I never felt him move. And so I don't know if this is going to like a completely different thing than what this video really is supposed to be about, but I'm depressed. I'm sad. My husband is depressed and sad. We have no direction. Everything sucks. And every time I would come in this room, it was like something bad would happen. Like, you know, like I said, I was trying to finish his room and stuff. Like, I like came to the idea to finish it, and it was like every time I would paint the wall or like just do little things, like something would mess up. I fell trying to paint like high up and got paint all over the ceiling and was like super pissed, and I have this nice big scar on my leg from it. And then when I was putting his bookshelves up, like the bookshelves would not work, and I was just like, you know, it's, you know, screw it, you know. One of my coworkers the other day, she reached out to me and basically was just like, you know, don't get upset at me, but she said, lean not unto your own understanding. And I 100% did not know what that meant. And I actually talked to one of my other friends about it, and she gave me the full scripture. And so I actually Googled it later on, and I read the whole Proverbs scripture. And it definitely resonated with me. I know I don't fully understand it still, even after reading it like once or twice. And yeah, I think naturally when someone passes away, you try to like come up with a reason, and then you try to like think of like ways of how you could have like prevented it from happening in the first place. You know, I think that's just going through your grief process. I really don't know why my baby passed away. I don't know why it happened to us. I don't know what God is trying to show us, protect us from, give us. I really don't know. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you on the next video.